47 career starts, started every game the last 2 seasons. He is 24-15-8 with a 1.04 goals against average, and he has 113 saves. And he is part of a defense that have allowed 0 goals on set pieces, which is just massive. No matter whether it's the women's game or the men's game, at this level to allow no goals on set pieces, pretty strong.
I think that's a testament to just the experience that he provides, just the bravery to come out on set pieces and playing the ball. Something that you need in a goalkeeper.
Brian Dowd, his dad is a big-timer with the Chicago Bulls, and he comes to a ton of the games as well. We think his dad is here with a decent contingent of Notre Dame fans. The 3 transfers up top for North Carolina at 6'4". Martine Vichian, the transfer from Harvard, 2-time Ivy League recognition. David Bursato, transfer from Quinnipiac as well as Ohio Valley, as this one will roll all the way back. And then, of course, we already talked about Quincy Ehrman, the transfer from Seton Hall. 3 transfers up top at a place where it took Carlos Zambrano some time. It was frustrating for the arguably one of the most successful coaches you're going to find. I mean, his winning percentage in the ACC is tops. Carlos Zambrano in his first season won a national championship. He's taken his team to 4 college cups, but it took him a while to figure out through admissions how to work the transfer portal. Now that he has, boy, he's got 3 good ones up top.
When you can get that experience that the transfer portal provides, it adds a lot to your roster, especially in the men's game when you have a lot of players leaving for the draft or transferring. So I think Carlos Zambrano has done a great job constructing his roster and bringing in new talent to his team.
Tremendous touch there by Cardenas, who gets the start. That was one of the biggest questions, was who was going to start at left midfield. And there is Carlos Zambrano. If you get a chance, check out this week's United Soccer Coaches podcast. As you see the 4 College Cup appearances, he kicks off the podcast, and then he's followed by another famous person. Her name is Brianna Pinto. That's the United Soccer Coaches podcast. Hopefully you get a chance to check it out. I hope it wasn't like a hospital duty for you to have to do that podcast, Brianna. I hope you enjoyed it.
It was always a pleasure to speak with you and spend time here in the booth and on the podcast. So yeah, check it out if you have time.
Thank you. There'll be a throw in for the Tar Heels. Take a look at the keys to this one. As for North Carolina,
they want to manage the midfield and defend as an 11. Both of those will take just cohesive unit. Like, they need to be compact defensively, and in terms of managing the midfield, they should shorten the distance in their passes, make sure they have good movement off the ball and decisive passing.
Those are the keys to the game for North Carolina. In a moment, we'll give you the keys from Chad Riley, the top man at Notre Dame, where he played. He was an assistant coach and has worked his way back to his alma mater. And these are the keys from Coach Chad Riley for a Notre Dame win.
Now, coming off the loss last week, they want to have a team performance, and that comes down to starting fast, making sure that everyone is bought into their game plan, and then also winning the wide areas. That'll involve creating overloads from their outside backs, having the interchange with their forwards, and getting players like Ento involved in behind the defense.
Notre Dame's team missing Bryce Beneo, a big-time talent, still out. He is close to coming back, but will not play today. So in his place is Wyatt Lewis, the sophomore from St. Charles, Missouri. Whistle called against Notre Dame.
Cardenas does a good job driving forward and draws a foul.
Man in the middle is David Erbacher. Jude Carr's on one line as North Carolina's got a chance right now. They send across, open and denied by Dowd. Really good chance for North Carolina coming from Bursato, number 13. It'll be a corner kick, North Carolina. Bursato was all alone.
I think Barcedo might have been a little bit surprised that it made it all the way through right at his feet, because the deflection takes a little bit of time to adjust and hit it first time, but he does a good job getting the shot off.
1 goal and 1 assist already for number 13. 3 great years at Quinnipiac, 1 at Ohio Valley. They go short corner, find Sam Williams. He'll get it back to Ehrman, who has been red hot and featured in our open. And it's sent out of bounds. The clearance coming from Into. Good look there at Quincy Ehrman. Between him and Rue, they both come in red hot. North Carolina, they play that 4-3-3, and I kind of like it. The 3 midfielders, it's not like they're, you know, a 6, an 8, and a 10. I mean, they're just 3 soccer players in the middle of the field that cover a ton of ground, and it's a system that works because of players like him, number 7 for North Carolina, Sam Williams. They cover so much ground.
Yeah, Sam Williams does do a good job covering ground. I think here he's a little bit late, but to your point about having such a good midfield unit, they're able to interchange and play the 6, 8, and 10 role in such a great way. Cardenas, Williams, and Czech do a good job of just their interchange, getting forward, making sure they cover for each other in their defensive counter measures.
Tar Heel men's soccer fans, if you're trying to make out the voice, Brianna Pinto, the talented daughter of Hassan Pinto, who played soccer here for the UNC men's soccer team. And he also had 2 sons, one that played at Elon and Duke, one that played at Princeton, who is a super sub for Cincinnati, arguably the best team in MLS. Meanwhile, all Brianna Pinto is doing is scoring big-time goals in final seconds to get the North Carolina Courage into the Challenge Cup, where they win it again. That was on Saturday. And she'll head to Orlando tomorrow as the North Carolina Courage are trying to chase down the regular season title, the #1 seed in the NWSL playoffs. Meanwhile, here at Dorrance Field, North Carolina Tar Heels continue to move the ball well. Good pass coming across from Barcedo, who already has had a chance that he probably would like back. I feel like if he had that shot 10 times, he'd make at least half of them. Ripped out of there by Notre Dame. Taken back by North Carolina. Tremendous close by Charlie Harper, the sophomore by way of Australia, who actually went to school in Japan. Barcedo. So now back to Parker O'Farrell. Called some of his games as he played for John Bradford for NCFC at the USL Championship and USL League One level. And North Carolina FC, really because of the strength of the North Carolina Courage, will move up to USL Championship next year, which is super exciting. Exciting enough where you might see former Tar Heels that have gone on to MLS or USL Championship level coming back to play at Wake Med Soccer Park. There's Williams in the middle of the park as he'll find Cardenas. This will drop to Barcedo. Williams will switch it.
As you mentioned earlier, Wake Med Soccer Park is such a wonderful facility, and it's actually where a lot of college cups have been held in the past few years.
Beautiful facility. Parker O'Farrell had it for a moment. Now it finds Barcedo. Far post, trying to find Czech moving forward as number 27, the junior from Elmhurst, Illinois, making a run out of that midfield.
A little ball to look at the back post. I think starts to be a run, but just a little bit of off timing. Decent attempt from Barcedo.
North Carolina 2-0-2. They won at East Tennessee State, always a pretty good program, 2-1, and VCU 4-1. Tied Loyola Maryland at home and tied at Virginia Tech. Last year, the team 11-7-2 made it to the round of 32 before falling to New Hampshire, who had a great season. 13th season for Carlos Samuano. In his first 12 seasons, every season but one, he has put his team into the NCAA tournament. 4 college cups. They won it all in 2011. They made it back in 16 and 17. And then, of course, that COVID year, simply amazing what they did to make it all the way to the College Cup before falling to the eventual champion, Marshall. Of course, after he won that College Cup in his first season as a head coach, he was named the National Coach of the Year. One back in the midfield again by the Tar Heels. Bersato. It's going to fall back to Cardenas. Bersato. He mishits it, and it'll be a goal kick back to Brian Dowd. Brian Dowd, 6'3", and in the 88th minute, he had a Sports Center top 10 worthy save against Clemson to help Notre Dame hang on and get the result in that game. He's 6'3", but he's also got a tremendous wingspan and very agile, great shot stopper.
Having that kind of frame is such an advantage in goal because you're able to just command the box and come up big, especially in set pieces.
Yeah, Brianna Pinto, I do believe he is a next level professional without question, and an automatic write-in for Coach Riley. Cardenas, and to go out of bounds. That left midfield spot, you have Jamison Charles, the senior out of Haiti, former Minnesota Player of the Year, and you also have Juan Cafaro, the junior out of Argentina. And then you've got Cardenas, the junior out of Davie, Florida. All 3 of them could feature in this game at that spot. Notre Dame running straight downhill with a tremendous amount of pace, as that was into number 9. This one played back by Gennebacher, really good player, junior, who has been a little bit bothered by injury, but gets the start today for Chad Riley, and a nice addition. I got down on the field and talked to Chad before the game, and he was thrilled that Notre Dame coming off a loss to Damon Rensing and the Michigan State Spartans. That's their only blemish on the season. They started the season against number 2 Indiana and got a tie, and then smoked IUPI 5-0, beat NIU 1-0, beat Detroit Mercy 1-0, and then beat Coach Noonan's Clemson team 3-2, courtesy of that ridiculous save by Dowd in minute 88. Boy, the pace right now, the tempo is being dictated by Carlos Samuano's Tar Heel team. I feel like even Chad Riley would say that, and he's the top man for Notre Dame. Look at this. Cardenas back on it, squares it. It almost popped up again to Bersato. Now I'll see if Notre Dame can go the other way. Would you agree with the tempo being dictated right now by the Tar Heels?
That's one of the favorite things that I've liked here in this first almost 15 minutes. They've been so good with their touches. They've been quick on the ball. They've had their head on a swivel, and they know where they're going to go as soon as they receive the ball. I think they're also helping each other out by playing it to the correct foot so that they can turn and get forward.
This time Matthew Rue dropped it out wide, a really good ball, and Notre Dame, a little push from behind, taken away by North Carolina. Give David Erbacher credit. He is letting both teams play right now, and you love to see that, as ACC men's soccer, just like ACC women's soccer, pretty special. Mentioned Parker O'Farrell. He had also played in the midfield, but he gets a huge chance now. Matt Edwards, hopefully he won't be out for the season. Matt Edwards is a stud outside back, a guy who's definitely going to play at the next level. He I mean, Brianna, the guy's like all muscle. You might know him even.
I actually got to train with Matt Edwards when I was in youth soccer with IDF Academy. Yeah, he's a great player, super knowledgeable, and just the way he sets himself up to play forward from the outside back position is incredible.
Right, speed, power,
whole
thing.
Tactical awareness.
Yeah, they're going to miss him a lot. They're fine with Quinn Clausen, but also Colin Travassos, the transfer from Cal, was looking really good in goal, and he's suffered an injury that could put him out for quite some time. But the word is he does have some eligibility left, so regardless, hopefully he can come back. He's worth mentioning because I told you that the Carolina Courage, the original iteration, played their first season here at what was then named Fetzer Field. The assistant GM of that team was named Scott Travassos. That's his dad. Shot from distance, save by Dowd. What a save. That one had eyes to go in, and Dowd gets down with that left hand. The ball went up, his hand went up, and he parries it away. Massive save.
Just like we said in the opener, Quincy Ehrman just has such a rocket on that left foot. I love how he came across the goal and then went back to the near post. It forced a save out of Dowd, and he does a good job getting low.
Quincy Ehrman, by way of France. His name at birth was Quinton, but they've been calling him Quincy for a long time. And when you play like the way he plays, he gets to be called whatever he wants. Here's Quincy one more time on it, as he will stumble down. He had 7 goals and 4 assists last year at Seton Hall, 6 goals and 8 assists in 21. He was the former Sunshine State Player of the Year. He also played at another college before even Seton Hall down in Palm Beach. Right now, this guy is the man of the match because that was going in. I mean, Brian Dowd with a big-time save.
But we talked about his frame, and he's able to outstretch his arms to cover all the corners, and he did such a great job on a wonderful strike from Ehrman. The exciting thing to watch about Ehrman is just he plays with so much freedom and fluidity, and he truly looks like he's having so much fun out there on the field because he's able to take players on, combine with his teammates, get in behind, and take great shots from outside the box.
Again, I like how this game is being officiated. Not had a ton of whistle. We got an overlapping run from O'Farrell. Cut back inside by Bursato. Bursato will feature, I think, in the halftime highlights, particularly if it ends at zeros, because he had the best opportunity prior to that long distance shot from Ehrman. It was Bursato. Now it'll find the feet of Riley Thomas. Thomas, who spent quite a bit of time at outside back, can also play center back. Pretty versatile player for Carlos Zambrano and the Tar Heels. A little touch with the bottom of his foot by Ehrman.
Looks like Ehrman catches him in the face. Clearly avoidable, but the ref has a slight talking to for both players.
No score. Dowd with 2 saves already to keep this one scoreless. It is a throw in for the Tar Heels. First one won by Notre Dame, still in the 18, kept alive by North Carolina, but Notre Dame will go the other way. Good job by Sam Williams, the sophomore out of New Jersey. Carlos Zambrano has made the transfer portal work, particularly up top. All 3 starting forwards are transfers.
And these transfers have added a lot to his front line in the way that they work together, the way they attack the goal, just their combination play as well. And I think they're also talented because they can play in any of the 3 positions up top.
Quinn Clausen, the goalkeeper for the Tar Heels, starts this attack. What a brilliant flick for Martin Vichian as he'll drop it over here now to Cardenas. Cardenas back heel. Finds O'Farrell. Now Williams. Williams cranks one, and that one will go off of Notre Dame. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, Tar Heels.
Tar Heels are really pressing forward here this part of the half. Great job to establish some rhythm here in the attacking third, and Sam Williams gets a shot off, forcing a corner kick for the Tar Heels.
All the corners so far in the game have been to North Carolina. This one looping back around. Dowd stayed on his line. Let his defenders do the job. And that one's going to go out of bounds and come back to Notre Dame. Boy, just like the women's game where Virginia Tech had a supreme goalkeeper, I do feel like North Carolina is going to have to be a little extra special to get one by this man right here, number 31, Brian Dowd.
I think they're going to have to be thoughtful in their shot selection, which they already have been so far. But then in terms of their attacking, they're going to have to mix it up and make it unpredictable, because if they can get to the end line and find the drop back pass to their trailing runners, that's a great way to score and get Dowd unbalanced on his goal line.
That was the big man a moment ago. Vichian winning it. Notre Dame has it back. Sometimes you need to go backward to go forward, and Notre Dame has done that. This is some nice passing put together here by the Fighting Irish. Drop it all the way back to Mitch Ferguson, the sophomore out of Glen Carbon, Illinois, and Baker Webb Academy, who's on it again. Good turn inside coming from Russo, Daniel Russo, but he runs right into three Carolina blue jerseys. Cardenas gets it to Bersato, who looked like he was fouled, but again, the referee's been consistent. He is not going for any of those, for lack of a better word, ticky-tack fouls. He is not blowing the whistle, and I like it.
I think it keeps the flow of the game going, and it lets both teams get into a rhythm.
Chad Riley in his sixth season is going to make a change and bring on Sean McDowell, the freshman from Lake Oswego, Oregon. Into has it taken away. Climbing the ladder there was Gennebacher. And Gennebacher did enough to get Notre Dame the ball back. Here's McDowell, who pushes it over. They'll play advantage, as I think that was going to be called a foul, but Notre Dame keeps possession. This will come all the way back to Quinn Clausen, the junior from Fairfield, Connecticut. Sent over near the Carolina bench. Carlos Samuano approves. So a couple changes coming for North Carolina, as I told you going in that on that left side, Juan Cafaro, the junior from Argentina, a player that they like to get in there, is in there for Cardenas, who gets a fist pump from Carlos Samuano, Grant Porter, and the rest of the coaches for North Carolina. And then also coming into the game is kind of a good story. Ahmad Elkwak, a walk-on who has earned legitimate time for the Tar Heels. Caught a couple of his games last year and he did well, and he's been a guy that Carlos can count on off the bench. Hard to not love a good walk-on story, Brianna Pinto.
I've actually been fortunate to watch Al Kwok play for years. Actually, he played on my younger brother's academy team at NC Fusion. Good player. He's good on the dribble, and I think he's going to add some energy and different looks at goal today.
you're already seeing kind of the versatility of this team as Parker O'Farrell has already kind of moved into the midfield despite starting at right back, and players are moving all over the place. And the quality is not dropping at all. This one shot by El Quack, deflected away. Back on it is Parker O'Farrell, who sends a pretty good ball in. It's flicked, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Notre Dame. They'll say that went off the head of Mitch Ferguson, and it'll be corner kick number 4 for North Carolina.
Good service here from Parker O'Farrell, and a nifty header from Martin Vitchian. Tempted to challenge for it, but went out.
It's actually off of Josh Ramsey. Williams with a good ball down to Cafaro, number 10. Dealt with by Notre Dame. Perfect sliding tackle to win it back by North Carolina. It'll come back to Cafaro. Cafaro, far post. Dowd will punch it. Kept alive by North Carolina. Still in the 18. Little touch, little heavy. Dowd gets low. Wow, how did he make that save? Dowd is the real deal, and we're still at 0.
Just an incredible reaction here from Dowd. He gets the initial ball, punches it out, and then when it pops back out to Lindsay Ehrman, he hits it first time, gets his hips over the ball, hits the top half down into the lower corner. But there it is, Dowd again, able to make the big save.
Ridiculous save. That's a 6'3" man getting low there to deny a North Carolina goal, and that's the second time he's done it near post to keep this one at 0s. 6 shots for North Carolina, 3 on frame, 3 saves for Dowd. Notre Dame still without a shot in this one. North Carolina's got 5 corners, and yet we're at 0s. Soccer can be a cruel game sometimes.
It can be a cruel game, but I think that's why you have to take your opportunities when they come, and you have to show up big when you are put to the test. And I think Dowd has done that. He's kept his team in it because Carolina has had some incredible looks at goal so far.
Dowd bombs it long, hoping to find Into. Back in the middle of the field to Wyatt Lewis. Lewis with a heavy lift, filling in for the talented Bryce Beneo. Now the Tar Heels trying to build it out of the back. They find Williams. Williams, one of those players that never panics. Hard to believe he's only a sophomore.
One of the things I've been seeing from Williams is in the build, he drops down low so that the center backs and Zinhart and Harper can get a little bit wider. This allows Parker O'Farrell and Riley Thomas to float a little bit inside in the spaces in between the Notre Dame forwards and their midfielders.
Ahmad El Quack. Thought you were going to give him some good mojo here. He almost scored.
A little bit of hesitation, great cut. Crosses it across the box, but it's headed out for a corner. Well done from him.
Another corner kick for the Tar Heels. I need to remind you that Notre Dame has not allowed a single goal on a set piece. Not on a corner kick, not on a free kick, not on a penalty kick. 0. They have only allowed a few goals in the run of play. An incredible stat, but after seeing the quality of saves that Dowd is making, I'm not too surprised, Brianna Pinto.
I am not surprised either, just because he's so quick in his reactions. He does a good job anticipating where the ball is going to go, and I think that starts with his positioning on the goal line.
North Carolina 4-1-0 at home against Notre Dame, 3-1-2 away. They have a winning record. It's still loose in the 6. North Carolina 7-3-2, including a 1-0 win last year, September 24th in South Bend, Indiana. Williams will hit that one too long. Coach Riley has brought one player on, Sean McDowd. Samuano has brought on Juan Cafero and Ahmad El-Kwak. Doubleheader day here on ACC Network Extra. Was honored to be joined by Brianna Pinto for North Carolina's 1-0 win against Virginia Tech. So North Carolina women #2 in the country. Good ball that time from Sean McDowd to square it in the middle. Now they'll get it out wide. Remember those keys that Notre Dame talked about, trying to get it out wide when they can. Good close by El-Kwak. Go off of Cafero, out of bounds and back to Notre Dame. Fighting Irish still looking for their first shot of the game. Ethan O'Brien, what a story he is. A couple years removed, he was out last season with an ACL tear, and he's finally getting back. I think these might be his first minutes of the year, and we're talking about a big time talent, grad student out of Bellevue, Washington. Out of bounds by Mitch Ferguson. It'll be a throw in for North Carolina. Good turn from Martin Vician, 6'4", out of Slovakia. Time Ivy League player at Harvard. Flick. And another save by Dow, this time with his right hand. These are like phenomenal saves. That's another one, and if people think that was just a simple save, they're wrong, as he had to get low and get his arm out.
This game feels like the matchup between Ehrman and Dowd. Dowd is doing such an incredible job just getting low and saving all these shots. It's just another marvelous save.
And you said it, though, a big time shot by Quincy, but a better save from Dowd, and the reason why it's still 0-0. North Carolina overlapping run. Flag is up. 4 saves for Brian Dowd.
Just look at this effort for hit it first time to keep it low, but here's Dowd once again making a remarkable save just to get low, punch it wide. Also, just the way he parried it, it leaves no opportunity for UNC to get a second attempt at goal.
Tied for 3rd in the ACC with that goals against average, but very much looks the part of a next level professional player. He's got 4 saves already. 8 shots for North Carolina, none for Notre Dame. El-Kwak as they play it into space. O'Farrell's going to make a run to join in. Martin is at the top of the 6. They play it to him, and that one gets by Dowd. And the transfer portal is in. Martin Vician has scored, and it's North Carolina 1, Notre Dame 0. Fair is fair. Second goal of the season for Martin, and the Tar Heels lead at 1-0.
What a way for El-Kwak to step into this game and have an impact. He drives inside and has an easy layup across the box and to Martin Vician, who puts it away first time to the near post.
it's interesting because the left hand and the right hand for the 6'3" Dowd have been great. That time he needed to make a kick save, but it was just a little bit too close. And the man from Slovakia, two-time Ivy League second team, coming off a year ago at Harvard where he had 6 goals and 1 assist, 6 goals and 3 assists in 2021. Now already 2 goals and 1 assist on the 23 season for the Ivy League transfer from Harvard. We got a yellow card issued. So Ethan O'Brien, in his first appearance in quite some time, will get the yellow. But the story of the game is in the 34th minute.
Great anticipation by Ahmad Al-Kwak just to get in front of this ball. He does a good job protecting it and then draws another foul. Fairly early yellow for Ethan O'Brien.
Yep, Ethan O'Brien, yellow card, 34th minute. Hadn't even been on the field that long. O'Farrell. Williams will drop it back to Zinhart. Sliding tackle from Riley Thomas will keep it in possession of North Carolina. North Carolina with 9 shots, 5 shots on goal, forcing Dowd to make 4 saves. But when you're quite frankly dominating the way North Carolina has, I think it's fair and just that the Tar Heels have a 1-0 lead at the moment here.
They've done a great job just showing up in numbers in the box, and that's half the battle of creating quality chances at goal.
Kwak. Quick passes here from the Tar Heels. Herman will run it down. Waiting. And Martin took another crack at it. Couldn't quite get a whole lot of mustard on it. No problem for Dowd. Martin Vician, 6'4". You can see just a little bit taller than Dowd. Tar Heel bench loving it. Decent crowd here, particularly closer over to us here on the far side as we have the best seat in the house, almost right at midfield. Dorrance Field, named after, I think, the most successful coach, any gender, in any sport, in Anson Dorrance, who in 44 years, the women's coach for UNC, has won 22 national championships. And then was also the coach for the USA when they won the first ever World Cup back in 1991. I don't know if you know Anson Dorrance that well, Brianna, but he's pretty good.
Don't know him at all.
Middle of the field, 1 bounce, a couple touches, and there's a foul called against North Carolina. This will be a good opportunity for Notre Dame. There may be a chance for them to slow it down a little bit.
And a nifty little touch there to just create a little separation and draw the foul. This will be a good opportunity for Notre Dame to get a look at goal, serve the box, see if they can capitalize on a set piece opportunity right here.
The Tulsa transfer by way of Germany, Till Zinhart, with the foul. Ethan O'Brien, who got the yellow card early. This is going to be a pass, lofted in and read perfectly by Quinn Clausen, who has not had a ton to do, so I kind of feel bad we haven't talked about him a ton, but he's kind of been watching his team on the attack most of the time, right, Bree?
That's what you want as a goalkeeper. Having fairly little to do is a good sign for your team.
Quinn Clausen, it's his job now with the injury to Travassos. Not sure if I finished that story, but his dad was the assistant GM for the original Carolina Courage back in the early 2000s. And they played their first season here at what then was called Fetzer Field, when they had a track around this field. Nate Zimmerman, number 20, into the game as it's played back to Mitch Ferguson. Notre Dame still looking for their very first shot. 10 shots, 7 corners for North Carolina. No shots, no corners for Notre Dame. Those shots and corners, I was not expecting that, Brianna Pinto.
7-0. Shows complete domination so far in the first half. You know, at halftime, I'd expect the Notre Dame coach just to ask his team to figure out a way to establish better rhythm, get more possession, get at their attacking shape, and figure out how they can just combine more in their attacking half.
Notre Dame led by Chad Riley. Long ball, trying to send it to the feet of Zimmerman. Zimmerman was in the 18 for a second. Now might be looking to earn a corner kick. Instead, he'll earn a throw-in. It'll be a throw-in Notre Dame. Now the referee having a discussion with Herman. Not sure what that was about. We have the pep band here. Long throw in for the Fighting Irish. Boy, the game within a game. Now you're wondering, can North Carolina hold Notre Dame to no shots and no corners with 6 minutes left? That would be amazing. It's the number 10 team in the country we're talking about in Notre Dame. This one's sent in and pulled out of the air. That won't count as a shot.
Carolina's done an incredible job defending in numbers, swarming the ball, and making sure they connect the first pass and they do win it. And that's been allowing them to suffocate Notre Dame when they are in possession.
Pressure handled there by Charlie Harper, number 18. It's going to go out of bounds. Good run there by Juan Cafaro, the junior from Argentina, who spent time at Barry University. And it does look like Quincy is going to come out. And coming into the game is Ernest Bawa, who is a laser, can absolutely fly. And also coming into the game is Daniel Cooch, junior from Birmingham, Alabama. Number 42, he's listed at 6'2", 185. This is better from Notre Dame.
But even if you look at, they're trying to force the ball up one side when Carolina has already shown that they provide so many numbers on the side. I'd be interested to see Notre Dame change the point a little bit more, draw Carolina out.
Yeah, I agree. We'll keep an eye on that. This could be the best opportunity. Did they earn a corner? They did.
They did.
So there it is.
First corner of the game.
At 3:37. Nate Zimmerman, the freshman, looked pretty good off the bench.
He's been aggressive on the dribble, and you can see the lack of patience, I guess. So he's trying to get to goal because it's been a frustrating half for Notre Dame.
So here's another good freshman, Nolan Spicer. There it is, corner kick number 1 for the Fighting Irish. Does it turn into shot number 1? Check out on the season, almost 7.5 corner kicks per game, 9th in D1. It took them to the 3-minute mark before they got their first one. This one driven in, headed out of there by North Carolina. Back by Notre Dame. Oh my, that was so close. Kyle Genenbacher, he got all of that, and that was really close to being 1-1.
What a great strike from Genenbacher. He hits it off the half volley. It's just off the bounce and gets all of it, but it's just wide. Ooh.
5'10", junior out of Farmington. Almost makes it 1-1. Boy, that would have been heartbreak city for the Tar Heels, who have really dictated the tempo, I feel like, from the opening whistle in this one. Block for Bawa. Turning with it. Check. Martin Vichian with the only goal so far is 1-0 North Carolina on top of Notre Dame. Stay with us at halftime. We will have a fun look at the pit on the campus of University of North Carolina, as both the men's team and the women's teams are out there this week telling people about the doubleheader. The earlier game, North Carolina beating Virginia Tech, and this game right here with North Carolina leading Notre Dame. That'll be fun. Then we'll take a look around ACC men's soccer with Brianna Pinto. That's coming up at halftime right here on ACC Network Extra.
Throughout the course of this first half, we've seen the stadium fill up. All these attendees that they had invited in the pit.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see. They were looking for their next Brianna Pinto in the pit. I think they came up a little short on that quest, but they did get some fans out of it. Nate Zimmerman. Brianna and the Courage play Sunday against Orlando. What time's that game, Brianna? Do you even know?
No, I'm focused on this game.
That's a fair
I think it's
answer.
7. I think it's 7 p.m.
Okay, so night game.
At least I hope.
45 minutes done. It's North Carolina 1, number 10 Notre Dame 0.
I think that was a convincing first half from the Tar Heels. They did a half, figure out ways to establish possession and get involved so they can find the equalizer.
All right, so there it is. The table is set for the start of the second half, and we're underway. North Carolina out there in their Carolina blue, Notre Dame in green, white, and green. Notre Dame coming off their only loss of the season. So great to be alongside Brianna Pinto. I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with you for 2 here today at Dorrance Field. This is played back to Zinhart. And here's Quinn Clausen. Williams gets his foot on it. And Carolina looking to switch it. What a ball. That's where you'd like to see Quincy maybe just trap it, bring it down, and then see what he can do. Unless you saw something I didn't see. Perhaps there was a player open. I don't know, Bree.
No, I agree with you. I think that was an opportunity for him to just settle the ball and then recycle it and figure out a way for them to keep possession in that moment.
Be a throw in for North Carolina, who very much, like the start of the first half, have set the tempo here early in front of a nice crowd And because of the way this field is set up, Dorrance Field, they got rid of the track. They said, fans, come be a part of it. You can basically reach out and touch Mr. Williams on the throw in. Good look at the crowd here at Dorrance Field. Long throw in. North Carolina with the flick. Goes far side. Trying to run it down, but just a little bit too late was Cafaro. Didn't start the game, but came on and stays on for Carlos Samuano and the Tar Heels. Second ball was won by North Carolina, but Notre Dame won it right back. Now let's see what Notre Dame can do with it. They have it ripped away, as that's Quincy Irman. Comes into this one red hot. Good pressure closing down there by Into. O'Brien finally back out there for Coach Riley. What a welcome sight for Notre Dame, coming all the way back from missing last season with that torn ACL. Closing it down, picked off there by North Carolina, read perfectly by Andrew Check, number 27. It's Riley Thomas, one of the captains. He is super calm and cool. Senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, who was homeschooled, number 15. Hanging out at Meadowmont yesterday and ran into Jeremy Kelly's dad. Jeremy Kelly was a stud athlete at St. Thomas More in Chapel Hill. And then I believe Cardinal Gibbons was part of the NCFC. I mean, even before 18, he was playing for North Carolina FC. Now starting for Memphis in USL Championship. You probably remember Jeremy Kelly.
I've known Jeremy Kelly since his family moved from France when he was like 10. Our families go back for a long time. He's an incredible player. I had the joy of watching him play here on Dorrance Field.
Yeah, I had a great chat with him. It was super timely. And he mentioned that both he and his wife Jane, who I think was a Moorhead Scholar at North Carolina, works at Duke. Brilliant family. And their other son was a indoor national champion at UNC, and he's now on Sam Paul's coaching staff. So
the men's and women's programs here for tennis are spectacular. The way they've won almost everything in sight has been really impressive to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Kelly family gives the Pinto family a little run for the money.
They are incredible people. Truly talented players, as we get to play some pickup with the Kellys in the off season, and it's always fun.
Well, it's funny you say that, because his last comment was, he said, man, you look like you just got back from Bald Head Island, which, check, I had. And two, one of the last times I was there, the Kellys were there, and they taught us cricket on the beach. And we played it for hours. It was so much fun.
They're big fans of all the sports, and I feel like they're good at all of them.
These two teams are pretty good as well. It's North Carolina 1, Notre Dame 0. Played in the middle of the park. Boysa had it for a moment for Coach Riley's Notre Dame team. Now it's played out of the back by Andrew Check, who drops it back to Zinhart. Now you're seeing the high press from Rue on the air, talking about the fact that prior to the Michigan State game, Rue had scored a goal in 5 straight games for Notre Dame. ton in that first half, to be fair.
Didn't get as many shots off as we would have hoped to see, but perhaps he can get involved in the second half and show his special qualities, because if he get in and around the box, he's a very dangerous player.
Right now, North Carolina is in around their 18. They get it in, top of the 18. Sliding tackle deflected. One back by North Carolina. A rocket shot, but not on frame, but hit well. Just a bit outside, and it stays at 1-0. Parker Farrow, another player that you know well. I think he was coached by your dad, right?
Yeah, I watched Parker grow up, essentially. He was coached by my dad when he was around 10. He's a really good player and looked like he wanted to get involved and get on the score sheet himself today.
North Carolina FC Academy player. Saw Williams first, then Cafaro trying to slow down the Notre Dame attack. Dame keeps possession. Can Notre Dame answer the bell and find the equalizer, or can North Carolina continue to dictate the tempo? Right now, Notre Dame on the ball. Patty Burns, big-time talent, by the way. Patty Burns, senior from Northern Ireland. 9 goals and 7 assists in his career as a left back. He's on the ACC preseason watch list. Talented left back. I think more and more over the last several years you have seen outside backs be some of the best players, not just on their teams, but in the country. And a lot of times they're converted, right? They were attacking players that have found their way to either right back or left back.
That's exactly what I was going to add. They have to be so talented on all sides of the ball. They have to be able to combine out of tight spaces because the flank's right there. They have to be able to go inside to get different looks, to create overloads, and they need to have good service as well.
Well, it's interesting, too, as we were talking about Jeremy Kelly kind of bringing it all together. He was a 10, a goal scorer, a creator, and by the time he was done here with Carlos Samuano, he was an outside back, and I'm pretty sure that's where he still is in the professional ranks, and outside back at Memphis USL Championship. With an eye perhaps on still going overseas. See some coaching there from Carlos Samuano. His story is incredible. You can hear it on the United Soccer Coaches podcast. His dad, 15 or 16, a refugee from Cuba, made his way to the United States. And actually got married. And Carlos, they lived in Texas. He was a big-time pitcher, Carlos Samuano was, but loved soccer. And let's take a look here, though, at Samuano's team first, as it's inside the 18. A little spill out of bounds. It'll come back. So Carlos Samuano had great success as a pitcher. Meanwhile, on the soccer field, they were losing, and he said that's what drove him to want to be better at soccer. He said that might tell you a lot about the kind of person I am. He's definitely a very driven man, Carlos Samuano, extremely intelligent. So that was step one. Step two is even more fascinating because he had convinced himself when his playing days were over that he wanted to be a coach, but he wanted to coach in college. So he did enough research to find out that Richmond, much like WakeMed Soccer Park, Richmond was hosting several college cups. So he's like, well, that must be where you go to become, this is all true, by the way, to become a college coach. He goes to Richmond, eventually gets his master's from the University of Richmond, gets a job at VCU. This one popped back over, top of the 18. Eventually finds himself down with Elmar Bolovich and on the staff. Elmar surprised everybody, goes to Creighton. All of the players walk into Dickie Badur, the AD, and say, we want Carlos Samuano to be our head coach. And that same season, they win the national championship. How about that?
What a wonderful way to walk into your head coach role.
I mean, I just love that he Googled that there's a couple college cups in Richmond, so that must be where you go to become a college coach. That's where he went, and here he is the guy who's got one of the best winning percentages in the last 13 years of any coach in the country. Tap there. touch here. Little back heel. On Carlos's staff is Grant Porter, who won a championship in 2001 as a player, and then stayed around with Elmar, and then stayed around with Carlos, and then won that another championship as an assistant coach in 2011. Michael Harrington, also another former Tar Heel, as well as Kyle Johnston. That is the coaching staff for the men's soccer team. One back by North Carolina. Good long ball. Little touch coming for Herman. Play back to Williams. And Notre Dame with the clearance. Look, Brianna Pinto, we have a mountain of soccer left, 32 minutes, but for me right now, a North Carolina player is down. The better team is in the light Carolina blue uniform.
They've done an incredible job just maintaining the possession in the attacking half. They haven't given their defenders much to do tonight other than establish their build, and I think their attackers have been incredibly aggressive in terms of getting shots up. If they can command this lead and maintain that possession throughout the half and limit opportunities for Notre Dame to get into their box, I think they'll be in good shape.
Important player right here. Herman down on the ground. Hopefully he's okay.
Does a good job trying to get the shot off, but gets stuffed a little bit. But he appears to be fine.
Last Friday, Carlos Samuano's team began ACC play with a 1-1 tie at Virginia Tech. It was Quincy who knotted the game at 1-1. North Carolina with a big opportunity to make a statement against a top 10 team here in Notre Dame. Take a look at what they've done against ranked opponents, as it does look like Quincy is okay. He will have to come off for a moment, and Carlos Samuano checking on him. But check this out, as North Carolina, man oh man, talk about the gauntlet. Number 8 Duke, 17 Pitt, 7 Syracuse, the reigning national champs, 20 Wake Forest, and 5 Louisville. Ouch.
Those are some challenging matchups, but I'm most excited for the Duke matchup because what a rivalry. The blue blood rivalry is something that every player gets excited for. That's what it means to wear that Carolina blue and represent it proudly.
I can't wait, as I'm actually flying back to call that game.
I will be there as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So after the injury to Quincy, it's like they're going to drop it. Quincy waiting to come in. Clock is stopped at 32:12. Herman is going to come back on. He leads the Tar Heel team this early season with 4 goals. North Carolina coming into this game had 7 players with an assist as well. All right, so we are going to have a change, as coming in for Quincy is number 34, Ahmad El-Kwaku. Was really good in the first half, Brianna Pinto.
He contributed to the opening goal just with his wonderful drive to create that separation to get the service off. It was a low ball through the 18-yard box at a good pace that allowed Viggiano to hit it first time into the near post.
Go ahead and rack that summary. That was spot on from Miss Pinto, and that's where we stand. 1-0, North Carolina on top.
coming off the bench, you not only want to add energy, but you want to be a game changer, because for someone like Alquak, he wants to compete for minutes, and if he continues to do things like that where he has an impact and creates the opening goal, that's the way he can build his minutes over the course of this season.
So well said. Jameson Charles, who we expected to see, is now into the game for Carlos Samuano, wearing the number 8 jersey, the senior out of Minneapolis, went to Washburn High School. I mean, just 1-2 touch, crisp passing from the Tar Heels. One bounce. This time did not result in a shot, but still pretty good run by Bercedo, the grad transfer who was born in Madrid, started at Quinnipiac and is one of those 3 transfers up top for Carlos Samuano that are all producing, including Martin, who's got the only goal of the game. That'll be KK before, number 16. KK is fouled, so the whistle for the sophomore from Southport, Connecticut, by way of Ghana.
Before does a wonderful job to earn this foul, but I think here in this moment you can see that he's 3v1 down, and I'd like to see more of the Fighting Irish players surround their players with options so that they can get out of these plays instead of being in the position to lose the ball. But well done from before to earn the foul.
So free kick opportunity here for KK before. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists on the season. KK before goes over the back of Charles. Referee says play on. That's what they'll do. It'll be a throw in for Notre Dame. feel like it could be 5-0 right now, if not for some outstanding goalkeeping from number 31, Brian Dow. And part of the reason why he gets the votes is a tip of the hat to North Carolina, because I feel like everybody who's been on the field for Carlos Samuano's team have done their job, right? They've been effective, outstanding. They've kept the ball for the most part. They don't have it right now, though, as Notre Dame runs downhill. But it plays like that where they step in, till Zinhart at the right time, and win it back. Our team with a pretty good ball to Bursato. You can hear the crowd, but to be fair, the referee's been consistent.
I really like the way he's officiated this match. I think just the consistency allows the players to know what to expect, and I think it keeps temperament at bay. As a player, you don't want too many interruptions because it disrupts the flow of the game.
Yeah, that's on point. In fact, we had not had any disruptions until the injury for Quincy, and it doesn't appear that anything be too serious. In fact, that might be him getting ready to come back into the game. Notre Dame will make some more subs as Into will go out. Russo will come on. Yeah, there he is. So he looks to be okay. Nolan Spicer will come in for Chad Riley. Out will go Rue. So Ehrman in for Bursato. Bursato had a kind of point blank opportunity pretty early in this one. One back here. Ready for it was Quinn Clausen. I'll say deflected, though. Corner kick back to Notre Dame.
It's a wonderful effort from before to try and get that shot off. Fighting Irish are pushing towards their average 7.5 corner kicks per game. But they've got to do better and capitalize on these opportunities.
This one's going to bend around, right and top. Still loose. And North Carolina perhaps a little lucky right there to get out of that mess. Really lucky, I think.
It bounced right on top of the 6. It was an attempt to get a shot off.
There's Chad Riley, who played at Notre Dame when they were in the Big East. He was 3-time All Big East selection. He was actually the captain of the 2003 team. So you knew right then, when you're a captain, you're a leader. You make for great coaches. Got into coaching at Oberlin in 2004, then worked for Dr. Dave Mazur at St. John's in 2005. Then went back to his alma mater, an assistant coach from 06 to 11. Then went to Dartmouth, and then became the head coach at Dartmouth, which has been a consistent program. Here's a shot from distance off the crossbar. Williams. That one did beat Dowd. Williams absolutely cranked it.
He crushed every bit of that shot. It's when you punch the ball and it absolutely takes off from your foot.
I cannot wait to see that again. As I was reading the Riley resume, after 5 great years at Dartmouth, he went to Notre Dame in 2018 and has already taken this team to a college cup. So we're going to have a yellow card. Is that going to Williams? I can't wait to see his shot, number 7, because that was a smoke show. No, they gave it to 18. Yeah, it wasn't to
Harper.
Williams. Harper, well done. Yeah. Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Ooh, a swing and a miss. Unlucky. Notre Dame wins it back. That is a couple now. Notre Dame swings and misses in and around the 6. Earlier, though, Sam Williams with an absolute crank that almost made it 2-0 North Carolina.
This is a phenomenal strike. It pops out to him outside the box, and he gets every bit of it. It hits almost in the corner of the crossbar and the sidebar, and he just does such a wonderful job to put Dowd to the test. But he's been an outstanding player for me throughout this entire game, just because of his activity level, the way he's distributed through the midfield, the way he's defended and protected the space on top of the four. He's been a really great player for the Tar Heels tonight.
Well, you're spot on, and he came in ready. He made the All-ACC freshman team, had 2 goals and 2 assists last year. He's part of the New York Red Bulls system. Shot from distance, not on target at all, no problem at all for Clausen and the Tar Heels. You do get the feeling that, knowing the number of shots, 14 for Carolina and 5 shots on frame, the time saves, that Carolina use an extra goal. Is coming in the game, Ernest Bawa, the senior, also from Ghana. Get a break.
But to your point, you don't want to be too comfortable at 1-0 up, because it only takes one moment for the Fighting Irish for them to find the equalizer. Carolina here needs to continue pushing for that second goal.
I think to support that need, I feel like Carlos Salmon and the coaching staff are making the appropriate subs to try to keep some fresh legs out there, including this man here, Bawa, who is just, I mean, he fouls right there, but he's so fast, can make something out of nothing a lot of times.
Something out of nothing is just right, because you can play an errant pass and he'll find a way to get on the end of it. He's also a brilliant set piece taker. He can strike the ball better than almost anyone I've seen.
Couple touches. Spun around here by Notre Dame, right back in. This is exactly what we're talking about. All it takes is one little moment here for Coach Riley's Fighting Irish. Sean McDowd. This will be played all the way back. Here's Mitch Ferguson, sophomore from Illinois. Finds the feet of Josh Ramsey, a junior from Plano, Texas. KK before. When in doubt, play it to Mr. Williams. Look at him absolutely gobble up some green space. That last pass isn't there. But give Dowd credit. He's not messing around. He knows he's down 1-0, so he rolls it out quickly. Ramsey. KK on the turn. And give the corner kick. I actually thought that went back off of KK. I thought it was pretty good defending here for Till Zinhart.
We're starting to see a shift in urgency for the Fighting Irish. They're pressing forward a little bit more. Their back line is getting a little bit higher in the build, and they're able to surround each other with more numbers of options in possession.
Thomas heads that corner kick away from KK, and KK will get it right back with Thomas closing down. They go off of Thomas. It'll be a throw in for Notre Dame. That's going to roll out of bounds. It's 1-0 North Carolina. They were peppering the net in the first half, and then finally one of their superstar transfers, Martin Vitchian, made it 1-0. Break it down, Brianna.
Alquak had a great run and just squares it across the box to Vitchian, who hits it first time. And that's the key, getting the shot off on the first attempt leaves no time for the goalkeeper to react. And although Dowd made an effort to kick it out, he was just missed it.
goal scorer. Conversation with UNC's top man, Carlos Samuano. Is Daniel Cooch. Will come back into the game, a junior from Birmingham, Alabama. KK will drop it all the way back. Waiting on it for quite some time was Patty Burns. And a foul called against North Carolina. And this will indeed be a dangerous free kick that will certainly challenge Quinn Clausen.
That's good effort from the Fighting Irish to keep the ball around the 18. This is a great set piece opportunity because they're just outside the box and they'll have an opportunity to float it right on top of the 6.
So Parker O'Farrell releases. KK takes a shot and it goes over the crossbar. Boy, I thought with all of those big defenders coming forward that, Brianna, the way you set that up, I thought you were on point. They should have put that on the edge of the 6 far post.
I think that was just a little bit wasteful because if you are going to shoot it, you got to get it on frame. Here, I would aim for the back post and kind of like dink it in there because if nobody touches it, then it can bounce into the back post. But give your team a chance to get on the end of it. Just under 15 minutes left. Fighting Irish will need to find an opportunity here to create some quality chances.
It's Riley Thomas, who appears to be cramping up just a little bit. Dorrance Field. Alongside Brianna Pinto, I'm Dean Linke. Notre Dame also with a tough schedule. That included starting the season against Indiana, who made it to the national championship game a year ago that saw the ACC Syracuse team win it. They tied Indiana. They've got Akron coming up, number 8 Duke, Wake Forest, and Pitt.
They have a tough run of games as well. Indiana is a storied program, and just for all of their success, that's going to be a tough matchup. But again, excited to see that Duke matchup because they are another talented team in the Triangle area.
Chad Riley looking on. Carlos Samuano sitting with Grant Porter. 15 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Here we go. They'll start the clock again. Bawa in the middle of it. Sliding tackle as Riley Thomas appears to be okay. No hesitation at all. Zinhart and Harper have also been solid at the center back spots for Coach Samuano and the Tar Heels. Helping Clausen pitch this shutout with 14 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. We look at Zinhart, grad student, transfer from Tulsa by way of Germany. When he was at Tulsa, he was ACC Defensive Player of the Tournament. Look at Clausen. It's his job now. Kept alive. Bawa. The green jerseys in front of him.
The Tar Heels have put Clausen in good shape to have a clean sheet because he has 0 saves after 75 minutes.
Great point.
And while the Fighting Irish have had 6 shots, 0 have been on frame.
If you remember, they did not have a shot until like the final minute of the first half. Yeah, there it is. First half 1 shot, second half 5 shots. Notre Dame, and Clausen had that one read perfectly. That'll give me a chance to thank our crew, the talented Brianna Pinto. Let's take a look here first.
I think here's an opportunity for the Fighting Irish to just get this shot on frame. They've been fighting so hard, and this is Rue here who could bend the ball to the back post. I think here he gets under it, he gets the bottom half of the ball, and it sails over the bar.
Yeah, Rue with 5 goals on the season and 16 career goals and 8 assists. Had scored in 5 straight games before Michigan State beat Notre Dame 1-0 in their last game coming into this one. KK is knocked to the ground. Bawa going the other way. Bawa stays with it. Cooch trying to stay on side. Bawa is thinking shot the entire time, and that'll be deflected. Bawa, kind of know his game. I mean, he gets limited time, and when he's out there, he is thinking, how can I 1v1 it and break something down and score?
He is very direct, and he's not shy about it. You saw his little nutmeg he had there on his run towards goal to try and get the shot off. But again, he's trying to make the most of his time.
Yeah, he's taking it down there. He'll earn the whistle. We'll see what happens. I will say, after that last shot, the entire coaching staff was up off the bench thinking, hey, we're 1-0. Let's make sure we take the best shots possible. He does earn the foul here, so that's good.
But you know what I like from this? I think he's pushing for the second goal because, again, you don't want to be complacent. 11 minutes is a lot of time, and you've got to make sure you manage this game properly.
Sam Williams over the ball. North Carolina is going to make a change next opportunity. Harper came forward for that free kick. Now they got to get back. Notre Dame now in transition. And they make something happen. KK on the turn. Now they get it out wide. Here comes Notre Dame. Zinhard was looking for Daniel Cooch. And back in the middle by Erman. Notre Dame does well to stay with it. And taken back by North Carolina. That was Nolan Spicer, 22, had it for a moment. Two players getting ready to sub on as Carlos Samuano going to try and manage these final 10 minutes. That was another thing. When you face a Damon Rentsing Michigan State team and you give up a goal, they are one of the best, quote, 1-0 teams I've seen in a long time. North Carolina's not a bad 1-0 team either.
Well, I think it comes down to knowing how to close out games, and that's part of game management. And you go over the tactics, whether that's changing your formation or just being a little bit more conservative going forward. And I think if they can continue to preserve possession and keep the Fighting Irish from creating opportunities, then they will be in good shape.
Cooch was running straight downhill and ended up dribbling right into trouble. Another player down here. It means the clock is stopped again at 9:29.
Yeah, Sam Williams has another kind of late attempt to tackle the ball. Goes down for a cramp a little bit, but he's back up on his feet.
All right, Brianna Pinto, I'm going to ask you straight. You have played a lot of soccer games. You have played a lot of soccer games with brilliance. Now you've called 2 games back to back. It's not easy, is it?
It is not. I commend all the commentators that do this for a living, because while it is very fun, it is a lot of work. But I've enjoyed it. I think this is a really great match to watch. I like the way Carolina has come out with some energy and the way they've dictated the flow of the game. I think they've been good in possession and very sound defensively.
Great words from a 2-time first-team All-American. That makes a lot of sense to me, because the way this game has been played has kept us both energized, galvanized, good performances, big-time saves, of course, from Dowd. Really clean passing on every line for North Carolina. I feel like the subs have been good for North Carolina. Hard sliding tackle coming in. I feel like the ref has been fairly consistent as well. And now we've got 8 minutes and 30 seconds to get to the finish line. North Carolina would love nothing more than to hang on to this victory. I think it is worth mentioning that the crowd is solid, and the crowd is starting to get behind this North Carolina team. Their home opener had 3,335, which is the largest crowd for a men's soccer game since 2016. And the attendance number sits atop the record, voted as the top attended men's soccer game in Dorrance Field history. That was this year, not that long ago.
Some of these double headers are great ways to just to support the growth of soccer, especially at the collegiate level. Back to your comments about commentating. I think what I love about being in the booth is I'm a student of the game, so I look for things that I can add to my own game from these players here on the field, and just the different tactical approaches that the coaches employ on the field, because getting to speak with them before the game and then see the final product that their teams produce is really, really interesting to me.
What a phenomenal answer. And just another reason why all the layers of the Brianna Pinto onion are just fascinating to me. I think so many people, this is trouble when it's a goal, and there it is. It just takes a moment, and Daniel Russo finds that special moment. It pops up, and he finishes it. And his second goal of the season, 12th goal of his career. The senior from Jackson, New Jersey, Jackson Memorial, has made it 1-1. We're tied at 1s.
What a big moment for Daniel Russo, just to find the equalizer with just under 7 minutes left to play. Patty Burns plays in a great service, and Daniel Russo is in the right place at the right time and puts it home past Clausen. I think Clausen is going to be upset about this, having to make 0 saves up until this point.
So Daniel Russo, just like that, second goal of the season, and we're tied at 1s. Let's see how North Carolina responds. Roman, pretty good ball inside, another ball, and picked up by Brian Dowd.
I think the unlucky part of that goal is deflections in front of the box can make or break a shot, and I think Harper saw the unfortunate end of that shot. He did a good job keeping his hands behind his back so that he didn't commit a handball, but it's tough being a defender in inside the box sometimes.
17 shots for North Carolina, 8 for Notre Dame, but it's scoreboard time and it's 1-1. No more overtime. And I feel like Notre Dame might feel like it's a dangerous free kick, but if they can get a tie, they might feel like they stole a couple points out of here, no?
Most definitely. I mean, just for the way they performed, to find that equalizer with just under 7 minutes is just a testament to how this game of soccer works. You don't have to play the prettiest soccer, but if you show up in one big moment and find the goal, that's doing what you set out to do. But as a former college soccer player, I do miss the extra time. There's no greater feeling than winning the game in extra time, because ties are unsatisfying. And although you can tie after extra time, the extra opportunity to find the game winner is something that, you know, my teams have prided ourselves on.
All right, good take. Ehrman into the wall.
We try to hit that fifth gear and figure out a way to push past when the other team is fatigued.
Yeah, that's spoken like a star player and two-time All-American at the Tar Heels. North Carolina, so close right there. Looks like they were looking for a handball or something, and the crowd's going crazy. Until Zinhart turned it over. Now Notre Dame. Can they switch it? They can. Notre Dame. Good idea right there from Patty Burns, the left back coming forward. And they're going to stop the clock to bring on some subs.
Decent strike here from Patty Burns, but one thing about hitting the ball with your left foot across your body, the way it tails is away from goal. So I would be curious to see if he had enough time to strike the ball with his right foot so that it is bending back onto the frame of the goal when he hits it to the back post.
Sebastian Green, number 24, coming on. I think it's Thomas again. Earlier, it looked like some cramping issue. This time around, Thomas may have suffered again, just speculating, perhaps a groin injury. Not sure if he's going to come back in this time. That look says a lot there from Carlos Samuano, who has to know that his team has been outstanding with 18 shots and 7 corners. Wayne Clausen, unlucky for him that he was not able to make his first save. He does not have a single save on the day. Is kind of almost out of nowhere. Notre Dame ties this one late. Daniel Russo, 84th minute to make it 1-1. Williams, heavy touch, but look at him save it anyway. He'll push it out wide. Cafaro didn't start, but has played some good minutes. They square back to Williams. Williams, boy, you got to think about that shot he had from distance that went off the crossbar a couple inches lower, and it's 2-0 and a different game. Instead, Notre Dame hangs around, and they get the equalizer as we're at 3 minutes and change left.
That equalizer certainly lit a fire under Carolina. Now they have to chase this game to get back ahead.
Notre Dame in tow. Will drop it. Played back. Little touch there from Lewis as they try to get to Into. Won by North Carolina. Ehrman.
Great touch.
Williams Boy, he can hit it. Instead, he gives it up. Carolina bangs it right into 2 Notre Dame defenders. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Great work by our producer Thomas Mahler, director Nick Forbes, Asia Garner, Ehrmont. Williams. Williams again. Sent out. Into. I think the rest of the crew, Andrew Lewis, Ahmad Patel, Dylan Field, Alexander Hirose, Lou Mia Guthrie, Hunter Caparelli, Seth Taper, Ryan Gibbons, Carson Withers, Kevin Tucker, Tanner King, Caroline Yaffa, Andrew Smith. Alongside Brianna Pinto, I'm Dean Linke. You got 90+ seconds left here. Can one of these teams find the winner? Top of the 18, Notre Dame. Little extra pass, one more pass, KK. It'll be off of North Carolina. It'll be a corner kick. Here comes Notre Dame. Like all, just boom, within the last 5 minutes, they're like, we're here, we're ready.
They showed up in the final moments of this game, and they've created a couple quality chances. Here's another corner kick for the Fighting Irish. They're definitely going to be pushing for the game-winning goal right here.
1 minute remaining. Looks like they've taken KK off, so the corner kick coming in with the left foot. Sent out of there by North Carolina, who now seems perhaps maybe happy to have the tie with the way Notre Dame is playing here in the final 2 minutes. Ripped out of there by North Carolina. Well done. The Tar Heels going the other way. Check's going to give it up. He'll find Bursato. Oh, hard tackle from behind. Oh, they'll call it clean. Wow. The ref had a good look at it. Better look than me. Final seconds, and number 10 Notre Dame comes to life just in time. And the final score, Brianna Pinto, Notre Dame 1, North Carolina 1.